Senator Hillary Clinton has spent a lot of time campaigning in Florida over the years, most recently on behalf of the Obama-Biden ticket. Senator, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
Let's talk about the economy. The federal government is still trying to formulate this bailout package. We don't know what's going to be in, what's going to be out. But you came out yesterday and said we need to form a government entity that would be modeled after the Homeowners Loan Corporation of the Depression era. It would buy up troubled mortgages from Americans. My first question, how much would this add to the price tag of the bailout?
Well, actually, I think it's going to happen sooner or later. I've been advocating this now for nearly 2 years because if we don't get to the root of the problem, which is trying to help people stay in their homes, afford their mortgages, we're not going to stabilize the home market, and we're not going to see the kind of increasing home values that will make up for what's been lost over the last 2 years. So I think that...
So who would qualify to have their mortgage purchased?
But, Matt, if you look at what the model is back from the Great Depression, the Treasury ended up making a profit for the country. Why is that? Because as they bought up these mortgage assets, unlike a business that has to show a profit every quarter or every year, they could hold those assets and then sell them and help to bring the market back up. So we actually made money, and that's why I've been proposing this model for months now, because I think we're going to have to do it. There is no doubt in my mind that we have to stabilize the markets. There's a consensus about that in Washington. But what about the everyday Americans who were just in the story that you told, who are sitting there watching their home values crash, who can't afford the mortgage they were put into for all kinds of reasons, some of which, frankly, was predatory lending and subprime abuses. But there is a real perfect storm, and we can't just deal with one aspect of it. We've got to go and help the people who are most at risk. Otherwise, we can bail out the financial firms, and we're not going to get to the root of the problem.
Real quickly, do you have support from both sides of the aisle on this, Senator?
Well, I know that Chairman Barney Frank is very much in this camp, because if we just turn this money over to the Treasury and they do it on an ad hoc basis without institutional support, I worry about what the outcome will be. We need checks and balances, not a blank check, and we need to have responsibility in an institution that survives the change of administrations, because, that's going to happen in January, and we need people on the job now that are going to keep going until we get this mess cleaned up.
Let me talk about the change of administrations. Here in Florida, 27 electoral votes. It's a critical state. You've been down here. Can you convince your one-time supporters to stay with the Democratic ticket and Barack Obama in this state?
Well, I am doing that. I've been down campaigning for Barack twice in Florida. I will be back. I've been across this country. And my argument is very simple. We need leadership that understands the challenges we're facing in the world and that can actually get the results we're looking for. And there isn't any comparison. We can't reward the Republicans for 8 failed years. There's a lot of reasons why we're in the mess we are economically, but you got to put some of the blame on this administration. And the Democrats fixed what we inherited in '93, and we can fix it again.
Let me ask you about some recent polling. It says that support among women is fairly good for Barack Obama, but when you go inside those numbers and you look at white working class women, the so-called Walmart moms, they're strongly behind John McCain. Could you, if you had been Barack Obama's running mate, made a difference there? Could you have neutralized the so-called Sarah Palin effect?
Matt, there's no point in going back and, talking about something that didn't happen. I want to keep focused on the future and to talk to those people who are worried about their jobs, their home, affording gas and groceries, thinking that the government has just turned its back on them, making them feel almost invisible. And I really believe anybody who supported me or anybody who supports the policies that I have promoted throughout my public career and certainly my campaign will be much better off with Barack Obama and Joe Biden as their president and vice president.
All right. Real quickly, your husband, the former president, was on The View yesterday, Senator Clinton, and he seemed to say that you really didn't want to be Senator Obama's running mate after all. Is that accurate?
Well, it's not something you want or don't want. It's up to the candidate to make the choice, and I think Barack made a great choice with Joe Biden.
All right, Senator Hillary Clinton. It's nice to see you, Senator. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Have fun in Tampa.
Thank you very much.